By the time he was 8 years old, he had lost 5 siblings. At 9, he was left for dead, only to awaken from a coma paralyzed. But he recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of body and mind. Bradley Quick is here to share with you his path from Skid Row junkie to successful talk show host, author, mentor, and motivational speaker. If you're looking for a better tomorrow, if you want a positive evolution, or if you're in need of a quick fix, you're in the right place. Now kick back and get ready for the top experts in the field of body, mind, and soul. Here on the Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Quick Fix here on Cool Change Radio, your home for positive answers and the place for you to find that life and health solution you've been looking for. We're right here right now to inform you of the latest life enhancement techniques in many different areas, including health, fitness, nutrition, psychology, finance, weight loss, and a whole variety of other wonderful and life-empowering topics. Today's show is brought to you by the Cool Change Foundation. If you're fond of our show, if we brought you some breakthrough solutions, or you just want to help us stay on the air, please donate today. Come on, think about it. When we make life better for mom and dad, we make life better for the children. When we make life better for the children, we make life better for the entire family. Everybody wins. It's 100% tax deductible besides, and no donation is ever too small. You can donate right now at www.thecoolchangefoundation.org. That's thecoolchangefoundation.org. And remember, it's time for Cool Change with the Cool Change Foundation. Welcome, everyone. My name is Bradley Quick. I'm here to discuss solutions with you. I'm here to talk to you about having a better life experience and becoming the best you that you can be. Our guest today is Todd Brazee, a trauma treatment facilitator with Seasons Malibu Treatment Facility in Malibu, California. He has developed a technique for treating emotional trauma called Respiratory Emotional Integrated. Wow, that's nice. R.E.I.T.
I can't spell it. But
I can't either. I can
say it. I just can't spell it.
Are you ready for a great show, Todd?
Absolutely. Okay. Let's talk.
You sit tight. We'll be right with you. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right.
Let's go.
Thank you all for joining us on Cool Change Radio, BradleyQuick.com, and on Facebook. As you know, you can catch our live and recorded video shows and interviews on those sites and many other websites. And as always, you can listen to our archived audio interviews, hundreds of them. Your favorite topics, favorite experts for favorite personalities at BradleyQuick.com. Now, if you're not hanging out on CoolChangeRadio.com, BradleyQuick.com is the place to be. If you ever find yourself surfing that thing called YouTube, you can stop at Cool Change Radio. We're Cool Change Radio on YouTube. We've got been up there about 90 days almost. We've got about 450,000 views so far. I'm excited. I thank you. I'm honored. I'm blessed. Go subscribe. Stay in tune with us on YouTube. We're Cool Change Radio. Later, we've got who do we have here? We have the people from the Savings Lives Coalition will be with us talking about empowering parents in our fourth segment today. So stay put. We'll be right with you, okay? And make a note, if you'd like to chime in with a question for my guest today, just pick up the phone and call us. We're right now at 818-824-9123. That's 818-824-9123. Write that down. Keep it on hand, because that is the number for all the shows here on Cool Change Radio. 818-824-9123. Okay, a couple decades ago, as he asked to affiliate as an adjunct therapist, as well as with a known program at Duke University using the R.E.I.T technique, the one he's constructed. Throughout his 5 years of working at Duke University, he treated hundreds of patients suffering from severe post-traumatic disorder, cutting and self-violent behavior, and food addiction with extraordinary results. Joining us now on the Quick Fix Show on the Cool Change Radio and TV network from Seasons Malibu Treatment Center, the man who's developed a technique for treating emotional trauma called Respiratory Emotional Integrative Therapy, R.E.I.T. R.E.I.T. He's the trauma treatment facilitator himself, Todd Brazee. Todd, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Finally, we got the show going here.
Yeah, we do.
We're having fun, aren't we?
We're enjoying ourselves, aren't we?
So tell me about this study at Duke. And was this before? It sounds like it was after you developed the R.E.I.T therapy.
It actually was. The R.E.I.T technique, I call it R.E.I.T.
Right? It's not R.E.I.T, it's R.E.I.T.
Yeah, Respiratory Emotional Integrative Treatment. And the way it came about was I had an experience with Dr. Tom Good. And this experience involved going through a process and a technique that helped me to heal a particular part of my life. And it was really interesting because this issue had to deal with social anxiety. And that's why I'm on the radio right now.
Right. You're doing a good job so far.
Yeah, right. And so in that session, I gained some information that totally helped me to clear a block, emotional block, that I've been dealing with for quite some time. And it was really painful. And so I went on to become obviously really excited about helping other people who have suffered from emotional trauma. And this is not a clinical technique. This is a holistic technique. And it was really interesting because I was working with, on the side, I was working with a woman who had come to see me for a particular issue. And working with her for several weeks, I helped her to break through this issue. She went back home and she was getting better. And she was helped by the treatment. I get a call from her husband, and he happened to be the head cardiologist at Duke University.
Wow.
So that was really cool. And he said, look, I'm seeing a change in my wife. I want you to come on up, and I want to talk with you. So that's how it all started. And I went up, and he was running a treatment program for obesity and eating disorders, and he wanted to take a look at trauma. And so that's what we did.
Now, explain this R.E.I.T therapy to us. Explain how this works.
When I started looking at how the body processes emotional pain,
right,
I realized several different things holistically. I mean, the body can with aid help itself, and basically it encompasses manipulating respiration,
right,
and some other techniques that I use to help the individual get in touch with that emotion and then allow the body to process it through. So we don't just work with the psychology of the issue, we also work with the physiology as well. So now we're taking a look at what happens is with trauma, any type of trauma. We're not talking about trauma that is catastrophic here, just catastrophic trauma. We're talking about any kind of emotional pain that a person experiences that the mind and their body perceive as very painful. So what happens is that the mind, it's just a memory. That memory, once experienced through the autonomic process or the autonomic nervous system, now becomes this living, energetic thing. I mean, trauma is just trauma.
How does it generally manifest itself? Or does it manifest
oh my gosh,
itself in different people,
yeah,
different ways?
Absolutely. It can manifest behaviorally, emotionally, psychologically, addictions. That's what we're pretty much working with right now. And over a period of time, when that person re-experiences that trauma in their mind and they think about it, it's just a thought. But when that thought is emotionalized through the nervous system, that's when it continues to act out.
Isn't it even deeper than the thought? Sometimes the thought just evades the thought and it's instant response, right?
It's instant response.
It's instant response with the system.
And over a period of time, what happens is that begins to manifest itself in addictions and behavioral disorders and all kinds of different things that licensed psychologists treat. So,
well, the reason I ask is that I had some trauma when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's manifested itself not only in addiction, but in lack of self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
And is that a common manifestation through individuals that have gone through heavy trauma?
Of course. A lot of times when people go through trauma, what happens is that they'll either internalize it with self-judgment or their self-worth, or they'll reach out and they'll attack, or they'll become explosive outwardly as opposed to inwardly. And what's great is that there's a way to process that, and the body knows how to do that naturally. And that's what I capitalized on it.
There's a way to process that. How is that? How does the body process that?
Through respiration. And what we've been taught since we were very young is not to feel. And we've been taught, to get over it, to...
I remember a great song that said, "Big boys don't cry."
There you go.
Big boys don't cry.
There you
Big
go.
boys don't cry.
Right. And we bought into that.
Yeah, we sure did.
We bought into that. And so what happened is that we, particularly men, we internalize. And so when we do that, where does that negative charge of the trauma go? It goes through the nervous system and through the whole body. Over a period of time, if that memory is re-experienced, which the mind doesn't realize that it's not happening again, it thinks it's happening in the moment. It thinks that it's going on right now. The mind doesn't correlate time at that moment.
Okay.
So what happens over a period of time is, it's like if I sit here and hit you in the shoulder, after a while it's going to start to hurt.
Yeah.
What happens with this is that person remembers the trauma, and over a period of time, it wears down emotionally, psychologically, even physiologically.
It's the body's automatic conditioned response to outside stimuli.
Absolutely.
Even though the outside stimuli may not be the one that is actually what we're reacting to, we're reacting what's internal to that outside stimuli.
Mm-hmm. Body knows what to do with that. And if you look at an animal knows how to process, because if they're in panic mode or flight mode, they'll pant. Their respiration goes up. And there's a reason for that. It discharges the shock of that emotional pain and trauma. That's what's happening.
I understand that. I understand a lot of things, but we're going to have to go to a break here, and so we're going to have to talk about all my understandings when we come back.
Oh, good.
Stay put, everybody. We got a habit you want to change. How would you do things differently to better your life experience if you could? Well, we just might have some insight for you, so stay right where you are. I'm here with Todd Brazee, a trauma treatment facilitator with Seasons Malibu. He's developed a technique for treating emotional trauma called Respiratory Emotional Integrative Therapy, or R.E.I.T. Right.
It's right.
This is the Quick Fix on Full Change Radio. Broadcasting live from Freddie Siegel Studios. I'm Bradley Quick, and hey, we'll be right back.
Experience the Quick Fix. Experience the process for positive change. Written by Bradley Quick, author, producer, motivational speaker, and host of the award-winning radio talk show, The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick on CoolChangeRadio.com. Bradley's passion for life is evident in his book, written so you can experience health, find your purpose, and have more effective relationships. Beating insurmountable odds, overcoming death, and being paralyzed, Bradley fought his way back so he could help you conquer your struggles. Experience increased health, vitality, passion, and purpose in your life right now with The Quick Fix, and read about Bradley's courage, ambition, and determination to live. Whether the issue is your thoughts, your physical body, or you just want to feel better and be happy, The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change, will change your life. For only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Take positive action now and receive a free guided meditation CD with your order. That's a $20 value free with your order today. Go to BradleyQuick.com. That's BradleyQuick.com. Take control and begin feeling better now. Get the book and free CD now at BradleyQuick.com.
You're listening to The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation. We'll be right back.
This has never been attempted before by any treatment center, ever. Seasons Malibu is willing to take the risk because they understand quality care and evidence-based long-term recovery. Pay for only 3 months of treatment and stay until you are better, period. I'll say that one more time. Pay for only 3 months of treatment and stay until you are better. Enough is enough. Seasons Malibu wants to count your days of recovery, not the dollars in your pocket. No gimmicks, no guarantees, just straightforward world-class treatment until you are better. Do not hesitate. Now, Seasons Malibu, 866-780-8539, 866-780-8539. That's Seasons Malibu at www.seasonsmalibu.com or 866-780-8539, 866-780-8539. For a free consultation and details, 866-780-8539. Hey, welcome back. You listen to The Quick Fix here on Cool Change Radio, your home for self-improvement and a place for positive change. I'm Bradley Quick, and we're right here right now to help you gain the upper hand in becoming all that you want to be. Speaking about Seasons Malibu, I will be speaking there, with the top-notch treatment center in Malibu, California. I will be there on July 31st. This is a networking event for addiction and mental health specialists and professionals and a bunch of other people interested in all kinds of different modalities. It starts at 12:30 with a delicious meal prepared by their top-notch chefs. And I'll be speaking about self-mastery, the next level of counseling, and the 7 stages of development. So come and join me this July 31st at Seasons Malibu. Go to seasonsmalibu.com, seasonsmalibu.com. It starts at 12:30. For more information about this fun event, go to seasonsmalibu.com for location and phone number to RSVP. It's very important that you do that. Seasonsmalibu.com. I'll see you there July 31st. All right. For those of you just joining us on Cool Change Radio, Facebook, or BradleyQuick.com, welcome. You can listen to this show again and to hundreds of hours of other self-discovery content anytime you want by simply going to www.bradleyquick.com. You can also sign up for our weekly radio show email reminder, where once a week you receive the most recent interviews in the comfort of your own home or office, and you can listen at your convenience and make sure not to miss your favorite authors, experts, or personalities. You can also podcast any of our shows anytime, or listen to them anytime you want to from anywhere at www.bradleyquick.com. That's bradleyquick.com. All right, our guest today is Todd Brazee, a trauma treatment facilitator with Seasons Malibu, who's developed a technique for treating emotional trauma called Respiratory Emotional Integrative Therapy, or R.E.I.T. His work has included national lectures, experiential workshops, and private sessions. He does this all the time. He's often hired to travel throughout the country by individuals and families who suffer from emotional trauma to work with them privately. Hey, welcome back, my friend.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
We were talking about this therapy working for people that have experienced emotional trauma in their life. As I said, I had just a little bit.
Yeah. Let's cover that for a minute.
Yeah, what I'd like to do is I'll be your guinea pig here. Let's show the audience here what we're doing.
Okay. Let's do it.
Go ahead.
So tell me a little bit more about your trauma.
Well, by the time I was 8 years old, 4 of my brothers and my only sister died of cystic fibrosis. And when I was 9, I had a bicycle accident. Ended up knocked out for 3 weeks, in a coma for a month. My whole right side was paralyzed, couldn't walk or talk. Mm-hmm. And it was, I had to do, it was terrible. I was ended up being a paralyzed vegetable. Mm-hmm. And ended up to do speech therapy and physical therapy and vision therapy and all these therapies to try and integrate back into society. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I came out of that and I found substance abuse. They started feeding me drugs and it was just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So that's the childhood trauma, and it's bad in itself. But I had started first grade at 3 years old. I spoke 3 languages by 4. I was just a little prodigy, little go-get-'em type of kid.
Yeah,
and that was that. So it was all over after that accident.
So how is that manifesting right now?
It has manifested my whole life in with a lack of self-worth. Mm-hmm. It's really, that's affected, that in itself has affected my whole life.
Okay, so when you're talking about self-worth, how do you see yourself right now?
Well, I see myself right now as fine until I get out there. I mean, this is the easy part of my life.
Mm-hmm. You're in a protected environment.
Exactly.
Okay.
And in large congregations, in my past, I haven't done well. Mm-hmm. In being invited into relationships or business opportunities or all things like that, I've shied off or backed away. Mm-hmm. This is all tempered down over the years, of course, but self-sabotage was always there. Mm-hmm. And it would spring up in the oddest times when something's just beautiful. I just throw something in there, whether it be a comment or an action that would totally disrupt that. Okay. Is that a
Yes. There's a continuation here of that trauma. My question is, what is the fear that you have? When you go out into public or you're in a public situation, what goes through your mind? Like you're having an identification with something in your mind.
I think
that's imposing that thought of I'm not okay.
That's what the question here is all about. The action and the thought. I would say the thought first is that I'm not worthy. I'm not. I don't belong here. I'm not. That whole.
And did this come along after the addiction? This belief system about yourself?
Well, I think it's always been there. It's just the addiction that would.
How old?
How old? What?
How old were you when this started happening?
I think it started happening after that accident. I was never before the accident. I had confidence and self-worth, and I didn't need anything. Mm-hmm. After the accident, I was a different human being. I needed now, not just wanted and desired. It was needed. look at me, and here's who I am. And it was just, it was uncomfortable.
So what I want you to do for a minute is I want you to close your eyes for a minute.
Okay, let me put this camera on you here and adjust the clock here so we know what we're doing. Okay.
So when this bike accident happened to you, immediately somewhere in your mind, is it possible that you made a judgment about the accident about yourself, right? When that happened, was it, how did I do that? Why did I do that? Why did that happen?
No, I woke up in a hospital 30 days later.
30 days later.
I had no idea what. I just woke up with tubes in me.
Okay. So here's what I want you to do. I just want you to get comfortable. And I want you to go back. I want you to take some breaths through your mouth and just relax. And let's just go through this. Let's just feel our way through it. Let's not anticipate anything. Let's just walk through and see what comes up for you. And so I want you to get really relaxed. Breathe in and then out. That's it. Let's just give it a minute. Give you a minute to relax.
We are relaxing here on Cool Change Radio. We're going through the
Relax
trauma
with
in
us.
my life.
Yeah.
We're going through the trauma in my life so that you might see how simple this process is and that you might engage in this process and be able to free yourself of yourself.
It's about identifying what happened.
Isn't it all
And
about
the fear about
isn't
it.
it all about self-awareness?
It is about self-awareness.
Once we become aware, it diminishes the negativity of that.
It happens through acceptance. It happens through acceptance. So I want you to keep your eyes closed. I want you to keep breathing. What we're going to do here is I'm going to take you through, and I want you to go back, not to the accident, but I'm going to have you go back to the last time that you felt a lot of anxiety, low self-esteem, low self-worth. I want you to go back to the last time that you felt that intensely, and tell me when you're there. Just
I'm
keep
there.
Good. Where are you?
I'm at a large gathering.
See yourself there. And what I want you to do is, for a moment, you're going to step out of your body, and you're going to watch that man in that environment.
Okay?
Okay? Just keep going. And I want you to watch him. I want you to see and feel his anxiety. And I want you to walk up to him. That man is you. And I want you to see him. I want you to ask him why he's feeling the way he's feeling. And so what is he saying to you?
He says, I don't know.
Ask him if he's scared.
He says yes.
Ask him what he's afraid of.
He says being found out.
What's he afraid of being found out of?
Inadequacy.
And what made him inadequate? What moment happened to him where he started feeling absolutely inadequate? Take your time.
There's all kinds of thoughts and
Let me have them.
images.
Yeah, tell me what they are.
Relationship with father.
And what happened there?
Accident. Just the attention, lack of attention. Lack of the love. I'm sure that he gave me all the love he could.
So here's what I want you to do. I want you just to see him. And I want you to walk, just sit with him, stand with him. Where are you? You with him? Still with him?
Still with him.
Great. So look into his eyes. Instead of rejecting him or feeling like he's a separate part of you, I want you to look into his eyes. I want you to say, Bradley, I love you.
Bradley, I love you.
And what's he doing? How's he responding to you?
He's beginning to weep.
Good. So let him cry. See, he's been waiting for you. He's waiting for you to not fear the emotional pain that he experienced with his father, the accident. He's waiting for you not to try to manage that pain, but to accept him just as he is, you see. So let him cry. Is he still crying?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Ask him if he wants to say anything to you.
just says, I love you.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
So ask him, what do you need from me?
What do you need from me?
What is he saying to you? This man is you. You're loving everybody else. Love him.
He says, yes, love me, he says.
Yeah. What else is he saying?
He's saying it's about time for a commercial.
Oh, my God. Okay, tell him to hold that. Grab a tissue.
Grab a
tissue, and we'll get right back with him,
thought.
right?
This is amazing, guys. This is amazing. Hey, listen, as I said, I'll be speaking at the Seasons Malibu, a top-notch treatment center in Malibu, California on July 31st. This is a networking event for addiction and mental health professionals and other practitioners. Starts at 12:30 with a delicious meal prepared by their top-notch chefs. And go to www.seasonsmalibu.com, July 31st, 12:30, seasonsmalibu.com, RSVP. This is Cool Change Radio. I'm Bradley Quick. We'll be right back.
There are self-help seminars costing thousands of dollars guaranteeing miraculous transformations. There are compelling speakers and life-changing weekend experiences where you can walk on fire. They all deliver revelations that guarantee you'll come back for the more expensive revelations filled with even greater wonder next month on Fiji. We get addicted to positive, heartfelt, expensive theater. What we really need is a jumpstart, an awakening, someone who can give us a reminder that everything we need lies within. Through inspiration and practical knowledge, Dorothy Donahue helps people get grounded and motivated, inspired and energized. It's not just words and affirmations and the power of intention. It's a mindset brought about by a tangible, transcendental experience, an audio-visual, physical, spiritual experience that helps us realize we transform ourselves. We get tools to become the conscious co-creators of lives of unlimited potential. Find out more. Go to DorothyDonahue.com. You're listening to The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation. We'll be right back.
I'm Melody Beattie, author of Codependent No More. 7 times more Americans have hepatitis C than AIDS. I'm one of them. If you're one of the millions of Americans with hepatitis C and your doctors are treating you with interferon, then you're clearly aware of how your life has been turned horribly upside down. Backed by huge pharmaceutical monies, the medical community swears there's only one dangerous, disabling way to battle this silent killer. It's not true. There are alternatives, and they work. Triumph Over Hepatitis C is a book written by best-selling author R.E.I.T, who fully recovered from this frightening disease. Lloyd is helping others to take charge of their lives and fight for their body's freedom from this crippling illness. His program is working for me. Call the people at Hepatitis C Free now at 866-HEP-C-FREE. That's 866-HEP-C-FREE. Don't become another medical statistic. Find out the truth about hepatitis C and get your life back.
Get your copy of Triumph Over Hepatitis C at Barnes & Noble and at hepatitiscfree.com. Call 866-HEP-C-FREE.
Welcome back. You're listening to Cool Change Radio, your home for self-improvement and a place for passion and purpose. I'm Bradley Quick. We're right here, right now to provide you with alternative solutions to the issues in your life. I'd like to share with you a great opportunity. You can join me down in Teotihuacan, home of the Toltec Pyramids, on October 11th through the 15th. We're staying at the Lee McCormick's place down there. It's called the Dreaming House. It's 5,500 square meter estate, and it's behind walls, and it's right at the base of the pyramids. It's incredible. Incredible. They take care of you like you wouldn't believe. But during this journey on the pyramids, you don't get to just go through the pyramids and find out information about the pyramids. You get to walk your life and your experience, your spiritual being through the energies of the pyramids. It's amazing. I've only done it 3 times. And October will be the 4th, and I'm going to do it 5th, 6th, 7th. And this is like amazing. It's amazing. It changed my life. I know it will change your life. It's a way to uncover, discover, and discard what you think you know, and step out of the social matrix into the spiritual matrix. Out of it's incredible. I can't say enough about it. www.spiritrecovery.com. That's spiritrecovery.com. Click on the Journeys link and come and join us on the pyramids. Spiritrecovery.com. Check it out. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Everybody should do this at least once in their life. Once, at least. It'll change your life as it's changed mine. Again, that's spiritrecovery.com. Click on the Journeys link, and I'll see you there. All right, currently he has a full practice working with substance abuse and addiction at Seasons Malibu Treatment Center in Malibu, California. Most of his patients, in addition to their addiction, suffer from from other behavioral disorders, such as cutting, suicide attempts, fatal sensation, seeking, fatal cessation? What does that say? Fatal sensation seeking? Fatal sensation seeking?
What are you looking at?
Fatal sensation seeking?
I think that's a typo. That could be a typo.
Looks like
that's a typo.
Let's
move on.
Other self-injurious.
Let's move on.
Injurious acts.
That's for the people with the PhDs to pronounce. I don't do that.
I don't either, as you can tell. I love it. Welcome back, Todd Brazee.
Go. Listen,
so we were going through some. I was going through a treatment here.
Mm-hmm. You were.
I was able to sit with my father,
and we just fixed you while everybody else was listening.
Exactly. While I was on
You're done.
I'm done. Right. I was able to visit the situation first off where I feel uncomfortable, right? Then I was able to analyze why that is and where that is disseminated from, and then I got to go there and speak with my father, right? I got to look into his eyes. We got to have a communication. He got to cry. I got to cry. Right? We got to share all that.
Did you say it was your father that we were talking to?
Yeah.
I thought it was you.
Well, it was. What I heard you say is that look into your father's eyes. I talk to your father, but your father is you. That's you.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, part of what I wanted you to do is to connect with that part of you that's wounded, that feels insecure and inadequate.
The inner child.
Well, yeah, it's the part of you that's wounded. It's in all of us.
Right.
It's all,
And it's important that you say that.
There's a part of it.
Each one of these processes are different for different people.
Different for different people.
Tell me about that.
I take it a step at a time. Everyone's different, right? You can't just pigeonhole. So with each client that I see, I want to make sure that I hear and understand them. I want to make sure that their story is heard and where they're wanting to go. With this process, what I've done for over 20 years is to help people break that barrier of the emotional pain, because human beings, particularly in our Western world, have so many judgments about what happened to us and who we are because of those experiences. And what happens is that we start to lose ourselves. When we lose ourselves, we start to develop personality disorders and other things that happen that take us further away from ourself, our true nature, and stop us from living a quality life because we just keep going in a cycle. How many of you have been in a situation where you keep re-experiencing the same issue year after year after year?
Right. Even when you want to change it with your conscious mind, it can only take a little period of time off and away, and you only have a little bit of inspiration via the conscious mind. It always goes back to your homeostasis, or what is implanted on your subconscious mind.
Of course. Yeah. And it's your judgment about what happened. It's about your judgment about what happened to you and how you see yourself now. And what are we all trying to do? We're all trying to come back to love. We're all trying to come back to compassion and love. And I'm not just talking about love as an emotion. I'm talking about love as a function of a healthy life towards ourselves. Once we do that, and in other relationships, we can convey that. So when we talk about trauma, it's very difficult for people there's a lot of people who I see all your books and seminars and tapes and what have you, all that intellectual information. But what's difficult for a lot of people is that it's hard for them to move on in their life carrying that emotional pain. As long as that emotional shock is there, it's difficult, and information can only go so far. So my work is about taking that shock, that trauma, and integrating it into a place where the mind accepts what happens and there's no physiological or emotional reaction to that incident. Right. Once you do that, then the healing process can start. A person can take in information. And that's what I do at Seasons Recovery Center. Seasons is a great place because they have amazing therapists who I'm able to help individuals to help heal that emotional shock and trauma, which makes traditional psychotherapy and clinical work much more effective.
That brings me to my next question.
For the therapist.
Seasons generally handles substance abuse, addiction, and behavioral disorders and things of that nature. But what is the tie between trauma and addiction? Is addiction just the immediate gratification, the getting lost in that, losing the emotional?
I think there's many different reasons why people. I mean, drugs and alcohol is just one aspect one symptom. Sure.
But how are they connected in one general way?
I believe that they all are. Yeah, I believe it is. And a person who is severely, my experience is that usually 8 out of 10 individuals who comes into my office for treatment, there's typically an underlying emotional trauma or issue that hasn't been resolved. So that has to be done, and that's what we do. We want to treat not just the psychology of the issue, but the physiological issue as well, how it manifests in the body and how that manifests in behavior, how that manifests in all kinds of addiction.
Well, we've all got trauma.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely it does.
Okay.
We've all got trauma in our lives.
Sure.
And even though one's to a third party, one's trauma may be more substantial than someone else's trauma, the brain doesn't know this, does it?
No.
And it just perceives a little trauma could be a huge trauma to somebody.
Absolutely.
And so, and I'm just saying that to lead up to this. Everybody's got trauma in their life.
Yes. If you're living and breathing, more likely than not that you probably have experienced trauma somewhere in your life.
So you as a trauma treatment facilitator can really help everybody achieve something bigger and better for themselves.
Yeah. No matter how significant or insignificant that experience for you was or is, it needs to be processed, and we're not taught how to do that.
How
we're
long
taught
have
to
you
run.
been at Seasons Treatment
It's been
Center?
over 2.5 years.
Wow, really?
2 years, 2.5 years, yeah.
And what's some of the most dramatic cases you've seen?
Well, I can't get into specifics, obviously, but
no, we're not looking for names and addresses.
It's interesting. I have to tell you one story of a 16-year-old girl that came in to see me. This was not at Seasons, but this was in my own private work. And her grandmother brought her in, and she was her father was sexually and emotionally abusive and sexual abuse, and she was clinically blind. She had glasses, but they were very thick.
Wow.
And so what happened was that when she came in, she had been to all kinds of treatment, and up until that moment had not found the relief that she was looking for. I took her through 3 or 4 weeks of treatment, and it was really interesting because all this emotional pain came out. All this pain, and she was able to give a voice to it. And one day I was finished up my treatment with her, and she sat up from my table, looked over on my desk, and she started reading the big print on this flyer that I had on my desk. Now, I held it up. I said, "Honey, can you read this big print?" She started reading it again without her glasses. So I thought, this is phenomenal, and I had to find out why. So I contacted my optometrist, and I sent her there to him, and he called me, and he said she was holding on to the emotional pain and the muscles in her eyes, and as she let go of that emotional trauma, the muscles began to relax. And all of a sudden, the stress and the tension in her eyes started to relax, and her eyes started to regain some sense of focus. Now, we're not talking about healing blindness here. We're talking about just helping someone to let go of that emotional tension that's held in the body. She wasn't being abused at that moment, but why was the body holding on to that? And so that's what's happening to all of us. Over a period of time, we're holding on.
Todd Brazee is his name. Todd Brazee is a trauma treatment facilitator at Seasons Malibu. You got to promise me one thing.
Go ahead.
You promise me you'll come back here.
I hope you'll have me.
I don't know. Let me take a vote there.
I don't usually do this on a daily basis.
Oh, you're so funny.
A weekly basis.
This
but hey,
great.
you know.
Thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for inviting me.
Stay put, everybody. You're in the right place. Cool Change Radio. Like to welcome all our new talk show hosts, including the shows Dates and Mates with Dear Mrs. D, Damona Hoffman, Love, Serve People, and Remember God with Michael Brian Baker, and do look for our other upcoming shows here on CoolChangeRadio.com. We're coming back with empowerment coaching for parents. How to raise drug-free kids with Susan Blauner. My name is Bradley Quick. You're listening to Cool Change Radio, your home for self-improvement here on your Solutions Radio Network. We'll be right back. Get quality goods for less from Bag City, serving all of Reno, Denver, Las Vegas, Bakersfield, Salt Lake City, Los Angeles, and many more cities. Up to 70% below retail on everything. Coin purses, wallets, organizers, purses, briefcases, backpacks, travel and garment bags, and ladies' and men's leather jackets. All discounted, all up to 70% below retail. Bag City, the best for less? Bag City serving all of Reno, Denver, Las Vegas, Bakersfield, Salt Lake City, Los Angeles, and many more cities. Contact Bag City at 818-990-1795. That's Bag City, quality goods for less money. Bag City, where 15% of all sales go to local charities. You can't beat that. You help local charities while getting quality goods at up to 70% below retail. Contact Bag City now at 818-990-1795. Contact Bag City today and get quality goods for less money. That's 818-990-1795. Shop Bag City to save. Shop Bag City for charity. Bag City, 818-990-1795.
You're listening to The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation. We'll be right back.
Today, experience The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change. Written by Bradley Quick, author, producer, motivational speaker, and host of the award-winning radio talk show, The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick on CoolChangeRadio.com. Bradley's passion for life is evident in his book, written so you can experience health, find your purpose, and have more effective relationships. Beating insurmountable odds, overcoming death, and being paralyzed, Bradley fought his way back so he could help you conquer your struggles. Experience increased health, vitality, passion, and purpose in your life right now with The Quick Fix, and read about Bradley's courage, ambition, and determination to live. Whether the issue is your thoughts, your physical body, or you just want to feel better and be happy, The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change, will change your life. For only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Take positive action now and receive a free guided meditation CD with your order. That's a $20 value free with your order today. Go to BradleyQuick.com. That's BradleyQuick.com. Take control and begin feeling better now. Get the book and free CD now at BradleyQuick.com.
All righty, welcome back. Thank you all for joining us on Cool Change Radio, Facebook, and on BradleyQuick.com. As you know, you catch our live and video recorded shows at CoolChangeRadio.com and over 700 hours of my best audio interviews. Your favorite topics and personalities at BradleyQuick.com. As you know, we're broadcasting live from Freddie Siegel Studios, your home for self-improvement and a place for positive life enhancement. I want you to know we're being supported in large part by one of my favorite charities, the Cool Change Foundation. The foundation was created to help families, all the children in those families. They do that by providing positive transformational life enhancement methods and techniques to those children's caretakers, usually moms and dads, so they may overcome negative habits and become better role models and providers for the kids. As a direct result, the children's home and family life becomes more nurturing and loving. Always does, and it always will. You can help the Cool Change Foundation, help the mom, dads, and kids in your community, and you can do that right now. Simply send your donation of love and support directly to the foundation at www.thecoolchangefoundation.org. That's thecoolchangefoundation.org. Once there, simply click on the Support Us link at the top of the page. You'll be helping us help the kids. Again, that's thecoolchangefoundation.org. Click on the Support Us link and help us today. Every penny counts. No donation is ever too small, and the children need your help. From all of us here at Cool Change Radio, we thank you for your support. All right, here's our new Monday fourth segment. It's called Empowering Coaching for Parents: How to Raise Drug-Free Kids. Brought to you by and hosted by my wonderful friend Susan Blauner, Director of Operations for the Saving Lives Drug and Alcohol Coalition. Hey, welcome back.
Thanks, Bradley.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Isn't that fantastic? We're going to talk today about re-educating parents.
Yes, we are.
Tell me about that. Come on now.
Well, we've spoken about in the past in the general formation of how parents have to step up to the plate and start taking control.
They just got to become aware of what they're doing.
They have to become aware of what we're doing.
And how their actions inflict all the children, right?
That's exactly it. Whether they're too passive in the home and the kids feel that they can just walk all over them, or whether the parents themselves are not quite the role models that they should be when they come home or in their behaviors outside at parties and things like that. So, the young kids and the teens, they see exactly what the parents are doing and learn from that.
Right. So what's the latest buzz about kids, teens, and energy drinks, and what should parents look out for?
Well, today I want to really talk about that, about the caffeine drinks. I'm not going to mention any by name.
Oh, don't name them.
No, we won't name them, but we all know who they are and what they are, and the big cans.
Yeah. The ones that look like alcohol.
The ones well, some of them, we'll go into that in just a second, but what parents need to know is that the caffeine drinks is sometimes where this all starts. And many parents are totally unaware of the ramifications of these large cans and how much caffeine are in these cans, which are not regulated by the FDA. You need to know this right now. Whereas a can of soda, let's say, these large drinks are 7 times the caffeine. And the kids are getting quite a, quote, buzz. Their heart rates are going up. We're having a lot of youth and teens in hospitals. The ERs are reporting they're coming in with severe heart palpitations. They're not talking about just a simple, like someone having a cup of coffee. I mean, these are major heart palpitations and sometimes with heart damage. In some youth.
Are there any stats on deaths from these products?
I don't have the stats with me. There have been a few because, again, if someone has a predisposition to having a heart issue.
Right, of course. This only perpetuates
and it can perpetuate. And sometimes we don't even know that the teens have a heart issue at that point because it's maybe even something minor.
Is it at that times when these drinks are most dangerous? Or is there other times when it's most dangerous?
Well, these drinks are dangerous in many different ways. Number one, we have caffeinated drinks that some of them have 12% alcohol in them.
What?
Yes, there are other brands that I can't name on the air, but that have had 12% alcohol in them. There's been legislation. They're working on trying to ban all that.
They're selling this to kids?
Well, then they're selling it to the ones with the 12% alcohol. They're selling it to adults, but in many of the alcohol selling establishments, they have them in the refrigerators, which are like right next to each other. So you have your regular, let's say, a watermelon drink. In a tall pink can, and then you have another tall pink can that's a watermelon drink. Only one of them says 12% alcohol. So some of the kids are either able to...
Isn't that up to the proprietor, though, in the checkout?
Well, that's what our coalition is going to be working on, is to make the vendors much more responsible, not to be selling teens, but unfortunately, at this point in time, we have a lot of failure in the compliance in that area, and many clerks who have not gone through responsible beverage service training properly, or many of the clerks who turn a blind eye. The teens come in and either they bring a bunch of regular drinks that are okay, and then they throw in 1 or 2, and they come in a large group, so it gets taken out. Some of the kids are actually stealing them out of these liquor stores.
Oh, I used to do that. I did. You would go in the liquor store and fill up my army coat with a bunch of alcohol.
With a bunch of alcohol. Okay,
and
but
munchies, too.
Yeah, but let's go a step further with these caffeinated drinks and alcohol. And let's say they're even just taking the caffeinated drinks, and separate from that, they're drinking alcohol. Here's what happens. When a youth or a teen is drinking a lot of alcohol at some point without the caffeine, now they drink a lot of alcohol, but at some point the body says, I've had enough, and they either pass out, lay down, fall asleep, and or throw up. I'm not trying to be too graphic here, but that is the body's way of saying, I've had enough, there's too much alcohol in here, and they retch it, and they're throwing it out.
Throwing up and being asleep is very dangerous.
Very dangerous. That in and of itself is very dangerous.
It killed Jimi Hendrix, inhalation of mucus.
So adding to that, now if they've had the caffeinated drinks, so the caffeinated drinks are revving up the heart, and the brain now says, I don't want to sleep. I'm not going to go to sleep. So they're able to drink more alcohol on top of that, thereby some people ending up with alcohol poisoning, which is lethal.
Do you have any stats on that?
I didn't bring any stats with me today, but
next time
I'll bring you the stats, okay? It's interesting. I do presentations in the schools, and I'm doing presentations to a lot of different organizations, and I'm working with parents. And I bring all the different bottles with me. I bring alcohol, and I bring the caffeinated drinks, and I bring so forth and so on. And I show the parents how they need to be going into their kids' rooms. They need to see what their kids are drinking, because sometimes the kids have those cute little vitamin drinks that come in the different colors, which are okay.
Right.
But then they'll find alcohol in the same color. So the pinks and the purples and the greens and the so forth and so on. So now if the parents have to go in there and open those innocuous drinks, so to speak, and smell, because the kids are pouring out the pink vitamin drinks and pouring in the pink vodkas or the pink gins or the purple gins or the green gins or whatever.
When I was a kid, Susan, it was the Coke and all the sodas had massive amounts of sugar in it, right?
They do.
And the cereals had massive amounts of. So that was the way that society in corporate America was getting the consumer, especially the child, was through all the sugar.
And they still are.
Okay, well now it seems to be the caffeine they're getting them.
Right, but you have to understand something. They are loading these with sugar. So you have loaded sugar, which can
and caffeine.
And caffeine, which can overload the body. So then you're dealing with an immense amount of diabetes in this day and age, type 2 diabetes.
They have the children as young as 6 years old have adult onset diabetes.
That's right. That's true. And this is all part of it. But
Pardon my French.
But the audience needs to understand, the parents, which is why I'm doing this program. Parents need to understand, A, they need to take responsibility. B, they need to step up to the plate and say, no caffeinated drinks. This is a no-no. And they have to make sure their kids are eating a good diet, not a bunch of sugars and things like that. And keeping them away from alcohol because of all the ramifications.
And this is not about dropping them off at Joe's house and picking them up the next day.
Absolutely
not. This is not about saying, where you going, have fun.
Absolutely not. As I've said in the past, if you're dropping your kids off at a party, well, you could be there and be a chaperone at the party. I know I never allowed my kids to go to parties and not know who, what, when, and where, because you can't trust the other set of parents. You don't know what their roles are in allowing drinking to going on in the house. And we have to remember, a youth's brain, from the time they're young till the time they're, I believe it's 21 or 22 years old, the brain has not fully developed. So there can be a lot of damage to a brain from excessive binge drinking that the parents must understand can happen. This is not something that's just going to go away when they stop drinking.
That's amazing.
It is amazing, and we have a lot of work to do.
I understand you were down at the city council giving a speech today.
Well, I got called in on something to do, and that's on the marijuana side. But, we're working on...
whether it's an energy drink or a marijuana
or
cigarette,
marijuana,
or a joint,
we're out here to protect our youth. That's what I do this for.
That's
what it's
wonderful.
all about.
This is empowering coaching for parents, how to raise drug-free kids, brought to you by and hosted by Miss Susan Blauner here, Director of Operations for the Saving Lives Drug and Alcohol Coalition. What's on the menu for next week?
Next week, we're going to talk about marijuana.
She was just getting a
just
taste
getting
of that
a
today.
taste. But do tell everyone, www.savinglivescoalition.org.
That's not www.savinglivescoalition.org, is it?
.org, that's right.
Savinglivescoalition.org,
right.
I got that.
And go there, and you can contact us, and we have a full listing of all drugs and alcohol and things like that.
We'll see you next week, Susan. You've been great. Thanks for being with us, all right?
Thanks.
All right. Again, I'd like to give a great big thanks to Fred Siegel and our friends from around the globe for supporting our charity, the Cool Change Foundation. You too can help the foundation help the mom, dads, and kids in your community, and you can do that right now. Simply send your donation of love and support directly to the foundation, www.thecoolchangefoundation.org. That's thecoolchangefoundation.org. Every penny counts, and we thank you for your support. I'd like to thank our guest, the fabulous Todd Brazee, a trauma treatment facilitator with Seasons Malibu. Go to seasonsmalibu.com and learn how to deal with your trauma. I'd also like to thank people to make this show happen. Our fantastic engineers, Rob Gainey, author of Rockin' Your Stage Sound, available in bookstores now. Our fitness expert, Paul Madonna, will be back with us again tomorrow. And our assistant producer is Taylor Hoskins. The show is produced by Bradley Quick Productions. It has been made possible by Fred Siegel, YouTube, Google, Buzzsprout, the Salvation Army, Universal Studios, Milestones Ranch Malibu, Tim Allen, Marilyn Toth, and many others, including the Cool Change Foundation. Now go find out what your kids are doing now, okay? Remember, you're the most important person in their life. and they will do what you do, and they'll say what you say, and they'll be who you are. So be good, okay? Take care of them. See you tomorrow. Bye.